Alrighty, here we go. Hey there, everybody. It's a nasty one here again, and welcome back to the next episode of the Cutters franchise rebuild here in Super Mega Baseball 4. Year number 5, I believe we are in now in this series. Yep, we're about to wrap up year number 5 today. Last episode was a very disappointing regular season for the Cutters as we entered the second half of the season already with 10 wins under our belt. And what did we proceed to do? We lost our last 6 games and apparently 11 out of 12 to put ourselves out of the playoffs by 1 game once again, falling all the way from first place in the division to 4th place with a losing record again. And due to the sheer underperformance value and the anger that I felt, heads are going to roll for this because there was no excuse for us to go from 10-2 to 11-13 in the span of 12 games. It just should not have happened. You think magically we would have won 2 or more games. Nah, not even once. But here's the playoff rundown for you. 3 of our division rivals made the playoffs, the Buzzwings, Grimcats, and Pythons. Grimcats went all the way to the finals. They lost to the Razzles, who won their first title here in the series. Buzzwings got knocked out in the first round by the Grimcats. Pythons got knocked out in the second round by the Grimcats. Spinners also made the playoffs from our division again, from our conference again. They got knocked out in the first round. On the other side, Ridgebacks, the top seed, got knocked out by the bottom seed Razzles, who won on to win. Bowman got knocked out in the second round, and the Cockatoos got knocked out in the first round. So it's time to jump into this offseason and see who wants to stick around here. I already have a plan for everybody on this team who I know is probably not going to want to come back. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. So I have a plan, and here's what we're going to do. So Efrit Ho has been getting better these past couple of seasons. He's been performing when we've asked him to. So he wants to stay 100%. He doesn't even want to ask for more money because he just got paid this past offseason. I am okay with keeping him because he performed. He did his job. He did what I asked him to do. So he deserves to stay. I see no reason to get rid of him. And his salary, still manageable. It's just north of $11 million. He hasn't cracked into that top tier pay level yet where it's like $13 million and more. So, you know, I can manage around that. So that's good. He's perfectly fine. Burnout, actually we'll just go by percentages here. Beefley Bennett, what did he do this past offseason? This season, he didn't play. I can't put this on him. He didn't get a chance to play. So, but he's a good backup for us. He didn't make any errors when he got put in the game because he's a decent player. He's got good traits. He's crafty. He's a decent backup piece to have, and he's still cheap. He's not asking for more money, so easy re-sign. Carla Marsh regressed down to a B-. Didn't get to play as much as I thought she was going to. And when she did play, her stats didn't live up to expectations, especially coming off of 2 back-to-back seasons of hitting above 300 and coming off of an all-star caliber year such as she did for the Buzzwings, hitting 7 homers and 24 RBIs, to go all the way down to 2 RBIs with no home runs. Granted, she wasn't starting as much, but still, you gotta give me something. Not only that, you dropped about 92 points of batting average. So, yeah, you're gone. Huge disappointment. Adrian Long, this rookie, he was a huge disappointment for us, batting south of 200. And he was not what I thought he was going to be out there in center field. His stats say he should have been much better than what he was, and I was very disappointed in it. Now, granted, he's not asking for any more money, which is good for him. And that's why I'm inclined to give him a second chance, because even though he didn't perform, if you think about it, had he demanded more money, he definitely would be gone right now. But he's not. He understands he messed up, that he should have been better than what he was. So we are going to keep him on this roster and give him a second chance. I think he deserves a second chance to try and get back into our good graces, considering he's never been in them. So yeah, he's an easy re-sign. Worrymore was our offensive leader this season. 18 RBIs, again, led the team. I think he led the team in home runs with 7. He did drop his batting average back down, but understandable, considering we put a lot of pressure on him. He probably was playing when he shouldn't have been, especially when he was in a long slump. He had to keep playing because I didn't have the options to replace him with. So Spool, I can't hang all of this on him because this was just one clunker. Like, looking at his numbers, yes, this is his worst season average-wise, but he was consistently above 250 for the first 4 years of his career. So And he still got on base over above 300. So his OBP was still good. It's just he didn't get as many hits as he did the previous seasons before this. So Spool, I'm okay with keeping. I'm happy that he's still here and performing well. 100% next one. Flavio Graham, this is the reigning MVP. Automatic re-sign, no question about it. Don't even got to look at the numbers. This man won the MVP award as a reliever, I'd like to point out. 4-1, he had a whip under 1, he had an ERA under 2. He played in all but one game this season, and he didn't get blown up. Like, that is impressive. Not to mention he had almost 50 strikeouts. Like, dude, and he's only 21. He's just going to get better. All right, now let's move on. Now that we've gotten past 100%ers, let's go down to players that I know I'm going to cut coming into this. Phil Gongman was just a late season signing to replace Mateo Wade. I don't want him. King Shasbury was a late season signing. I don't want him. And Mauricio Harrell, late season signing, don't want him either. So those three are automatic cuts. I just brought them in last minute to, like, you know, try and, you know, jumpstart the team into performing. It didn't work. So those three are automatic, gone. Now we start going down by percentages. Luther Butters, again, it's 99%. He's happy with what he's making. He just got K Collector. He is developing. Did he have a bad year? Yes. Was that entirely his fault? No. A lot of people had bad years. And I don't expect a lot out of Butters. So he's an easy offer this re-signing. 99% he should take this. Should. And he does. Perfect. Excellent. Good job, Luther. Rums, automatic re-signing. He rebounded really well this season. Remember, his ERA was above 8 at the beginning of the year. He got it down to 3.2. That's impressive work. Plus, he came off an almost MVP caliber season the year prior. So, yeah, like he was top 10 in MVP voting last year. I think he was like 6th or something. So, yeah, this is an automatic re-signing. Like, I ain't even gotta offer him the salary, 98%. This is easy. Excellent. Okay. Hans Springer was a bit of a disappointment. He wasn't bad. He was just average, and I needed better than average. But I can't put it all on a rookie who hadn't been in the league before and knew what he was doing, so kind of can't hold it against him. Presidente, again, was solid. He did his job. And Jude, he was really great. He had his best season ever, and we just didn't do anything to help him. I can't help that, Jude. I'm sorry. And I'm definitely going to give Jude money. Like, I'm giving Jude his money because I like Jude. Jude is good. Messiah, I'm going to offer this 94%. He should take this with maxed out loyalty. And he does. Perfect. Ain't going to spend any extra money. And Hansbringer, I'm going to re-sign as well. Like, I can only afford maybe getting one new starter. So let's keep the 3 that we have and build up on that. Last member of the pitching staff, Leah Collins, finally progressed up to a B+, still only has 3 pitches. She had a really bad year. Like, I've just been frustrated with her the entire time in this series, and she's not developing either. So I think we just let her go. Like, I just can't. Plus, she's asking for more money. Granted, she's giving us a bit of a discount, but it's just she hasn't lived up to expectations. She hasn't done anything with the potential that I've given her. So bye. Tandy Deep the third, he's coming off his best season of the playthrough. Like, dude got in more games this year, and he delivered when we gave him the opportunity. So I would like to keep him as our bench option. Like, he's good. He's getting better. He's up to a B- now. He is getting better. He continues to move up in the world. I'm not going to pay him anything extra, but he's moving up in the world. Perfect. Excellent. Hesto, such a huge disappointment. Like, come on, dude. That's 2 straight years in a row you haven't done anything. Like, I'm frustrated with you at this point, and I need to make a scapegoat somewhere, and I think you and Cross are definitely going to be the 2 scapegoats this year. Like, you're eating up a whole bunch of my salary, and you're not doing anything with it. Harsh has been outperforming Hezekiah the last 3 years running. Like, he's hit above 300 each of the last 3 years. Cross has hit 221, 229, and 196. Like, it's time to go, Hezekiah. You're gone. Bye-bye. See ya. Harsh, you can stay at $7 million, and you can be the starting first baseman for all I care at this point. Heck, as a utility player, you offer me a whole bunch. Fishman, he came off a really good season. He was hitting north of 300 for most of the year. He dipped just below 300 at the end of the year during that massive slump the team had. But very impressed with his first starting year. I am willing to keep him as our primary second baseman. Give him the 99%er. I don't need to offer him any more money, so let's just let him go. OG Mega. Could I offer Collins the same? Probably could, honestly. I probably could offer her the same amount that she would be at, but she would have to drop down below that in the free agent pool. Could I reconsider? I can reconsider. That is true. I don't know. She's just so frustrating. It's like she has potential to be so much better than she is, but like, it's just infuriating. I gotta think about her more. Ed, I'm just wasting Ed's career. He ain't developing much, but he is coming off his best year, one of his best years this past season. Limited opportunities, though, of course, and he is 25 now, so he is reaching the point of, if he doesn't start progressing into like the B-B category, it's probably time to move on from him and just call him a failed development project. Yeah, it's kind of like a make or break year for Ed at this point, and I don't want to offer him any more money, so I'm just going to roll this. See what happens. 84. Yep, perfect. Okay. Last chance, though, Ed. Make it happen. Hesto, this is going to be a release. I just can't justify giving him $12 million to do absolutely nothing with it. So, all right, Burnout. You are the last question mark I have on this thing. What do we got? Second best season, I think. All right, you didn't drive in a lot of runs, which was a huge disappointment, but our offense did struggle to score pretty much all year. So I can't pin all that on you. You did get on base. You drew some walks. You drew the most walks you have so far in your career, actually. You did your job as a backup splitting time with Ho. I think keeping these two together is going to be the right move, honestly, because these two play off of each other really well. I'm going to have to pay him, though, because... yeah, he's hugely undervalued, so I'm going to have to give him his asking price. Yeah, 46% is just a really dumb roll of the dice, 50-50. All right, back to Collins. I could offer her this. It is a 2/3 chance. Yeah, if she walks, she'll walk. It'll make me feel better about just outright cutting her. She walked. Perfect. Okay. Alright, so that means we're using... I already knew I was getting rid of Harrell. I already knew I was getting rid of King Shaftesbury. I already knew I was getting rid of Marsh and Gangnam. So those four I knew were going. Cross is a scapegoat because he's been underperforming the last 3 years in a row. Hesto's underperformed the last 2 years in a row, and he's been a big reason why we missed the playoffs both years. And Collins has just been frustrating this entire series. Like, she's been decent, really good, and then has dipped back into mediocrity. So it's like, ugh. I think it was just, writing was on the wall there for that one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 roster openings going into the off season. We do keep, let's see, everyone else. What do we have? All right, so we have 1, 2, let's see, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 spirited players, 2 disciplined, 2 disciplined players. Okay. 1. I think we have 5 crafty. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we have 6 crafty already. Okay. So we're literally 1 off of tier 3 crafty. We just need to find some crafty traits. Let's see what else we got. We have, who else? We have 1 competitive, I think, which is Worrymore, if I remember correctly. We have 1 scholarly, which is long. We have 1 competitive, which is Worrymore. 2 competitive, actually. 3, no, 2. So 2 competitive, 1 scholarly, 6 crafty, 4 or 5 spirited, and I think 2 disciplined. Previous season where I had released 4 players when they didn't accept my offer, the original salary, they underperformed the whole season. It cost me a chance to playoffs. You got 4 new players on the 21st day of the offseason winning the World Championship. Nice. Yeah, sometimes it's the right move. Like, them leaving is actually what you need to actually win. And I think that's what happened here. Like, the goal of this series was to keep this team together as long as possible. And then eventually when we ran out of money, watch this team break apart and see where all the players go without playing any more games after we did our original goal of winning a championship, which we did at the end of year 2. So I think I'm in a similar situation now. Maybe that's what's going to happen now that I've cut all these guys that have been underperforming. All right, any retirements to knock out here? Woody Briefs, he is retired. He was in the free agent pool. Finley Herrera, the closer for the Buzzwings, finally hangs him up. Trenton Velos, who was in the free agent pool, retires. And Manuel Washington, the starting first baseman for the Bowmen, has retired. Okay. Washington has bounced around from a few teams in this league, so. All right, so let's go ahead and remove the guys we were watching here to start the postseason here. And let's key in on guys we want to re-sign here from this free agent pool. Okay, yep, perfect. All right. Okay, so what do we need? Let me focus on that first. All right, so we don't necessarily need a starting caliber first baseman. We have McFreddy, but McFreddy is also a utility player, so he is going to move around the diamond quite a bit. So he might not just be at first base. So maybe we get someone at least a B overall at first base to complement him so he's free to move around. Because that's what Harsh has been doing the past couple of years. He's been playing around the diamond when people need off days because of mojo and injuries. And he's been playing really well. He's hit above 300 each of the last 3 seasons off the bench. So he's done really, really well. We need a starting caliber third baseman. I know that because Ed is definitely not ready for that crap. So that's 2. I need a shortstop. That's 3. Starting caliber left fielder. That's 4. I need a starting pitcher. And 2 relievers, preferably at least 1 long arm. Okay, sounds simple enough. Let's focus in on it, eh? All right, so catchers we're going to ignore. We don't need any of them. We still have both of our OGs. So Cross is the best available first baseman. I'm not bringing him back. I'm just starring him to see where he goes. So we have Digit Crush, 21-year-old. Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. And this would put our disciplined players into Tier 2. So that's good. Gardner's a little too old at 30. 35 for Kaysen Yang. He's going to decrease. Caden Yang. Oh, Kaysen and Caden. Oh, God, that's got to get confusing. 32 and 35. They're both a little older than what I'm ideally looking for. Alessandro Sullivan is also a utility player we could pair with McFreddy. Not as good, but he's propped up by his elite level contact. He is competitive, though. Laura Boone, rally starter, is a good trade, and this would put Crafty at Tier 3. Drapes Duffy is a little... He's 29 already. He's 33. So there's not a lot of first basemen to choose from here. I think Digit Crush would be a decent option. Probably Caden Yang would be the better option here. I know he has a negative trait, but he's better than Kaysen, who's 35. Yang is obviously... Caden is going to stay more around this rating, while Kaysen is going to regress quicker. Sullivan also looks pretty interesting as well, so I'll star him and Laura Boone. So we have options there. Don't need a second baseman. We have a bench second baseman and a starter. I'm just checking to make sure no one got released. Okay. Third base. We do need a starting third baseman. Persimmon York is an interesting one. She's definitely a well-rounded player, but she is 32. We do need to keep that in mind. And she was already in the free agent pool for a good bit to end last season, so she's going to go off the board faster. Amy Macias is not as good as York. She is a better fielder. She has a weaker arm. She is a little bit faster. Contact is way down, though. Power is equivalent. She has the all-right trait in contact versus lefties. Bad jumps does hold her back a bit with her speed. First pitch slayer, though, on York would be pretty good. Got to get a game going forever down. Maybe one day. I do have a Discord, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. When I get to 91 ego, yeah. You're about to be at 60. Nice. Congrats. All right, here's Mateo. I'm not bringing Mateo back because he underperformed so hard last year. Plus, he finally started regressing. Phil Gongnam, I'm not bringing back. Viv Tamayo. Low pitch and pinch perfect. Okay. Pinch perfect isn't as valuable because she'd be the starter at third base. Unless she switched off with McFreddy and then came off the bench. Because McFreddy has cannon arm, remember that. He's a first baseman with cannon arm. And he can play third base originally. That was the whole joke when I made him. Tamayo is intriguing to me. I like that. Hallie Golden is a utility player. Okay. RBI hero is a good trait. And outside pitch. I like Golden over Tamayo. Miguel Doherty, not liking it. 32-year-old at 30 at B- level already. Salvador Lushley, RBI 0 is a killing trait, so is bad jumps. Leona Matthews, no thank you. Fen Karp, no, I need a starting level, so we can't even look at any of these guys below down here. Yeah, I think it's between Golden and York. Those are the two I'm most intrigued by. I think Golden has a lot more potential, but she is already 27. And she definitely has better traits than York. But York is like the prototypical starter that I might be looking at. I'll see. If we get York down to her valuation, we can sign her, and then we'll see once Golden gets below that, we can just sign Golden. It'll be an easy way to save money. Shortstop. Hesto's the best option available. I'm not re-signing him. Already 27. He's reached like the prime of his career now, so. Corbin McLay is a utility player, but he has noodle arm. He's never gotten rid of noodle arm. I'm familiar with McLay. I've played against him many times. Valentino Fernandez is 34. Probably not somebody I'm going to look to go after. McLay is going to be cheaper than Reliable was last year. Dub Velos is already 30. That's a no from me, Captain. Graham Goodman. Okay, interesting. I like the traits. Contact versus righty and RBI hero, but he's already 34. Wax Dyer's 28. I don't like Choker. Glover Leathers. Solid name, number one. Definitely lives up to that name with his fielding. Crafty. Would put Crafty at tier 3, and he has a spirited trait as well. Darren Lowbrow. No thanks. Reese Roberts. No. Not feeling it. There are not a lot of shortstops. Okay. So it looks like it's McLay and Leathers. They're the two best options, in my opinion. Goodman would be a solid third option for me. Lowbrow, just whiffer is horrible. Base jogger's not as bad, but whiffer is. Especially since we have competitive at tier 1 right now. Not what I'm looking at here. Still, I'll have him. He's like a, if everything else fails, option, I guess. All right, left field. We need a starting caliber left fielder. The best option is Elijah Homegrown, who has RBI 0. Go figure. He is 28, though, so he's basically in the peak of his career now. He's not going to get much better than what he is. He's a great hitter. He's got great speed. He's an all-right fielder with a below-average arm. He has a bad trait on him as well. If we sign him, we would have to get committed to bringing Spirited back up to tier 3. That's all I got to say about that. Arsenio Ellison is not... He's starting level, but I think McFreddy still plays over him, especially with Noodle Arm in the outfield. That's a killer. Clayton's 34. That's a no. Herpy Robbins is a B-. He's not starting level. So, yeah, our options are Homegrown or Ellison. And we have to remember, Homegrown's been in the free agent pool. He's going to sign very quickly. All right, let's see. Center field. We're not looking at any center fielders. I'm just making sure no one else got, like, released that I had on my team previously. Nope. And we don't need a right fielder either, so we're good on this side. All right, so now we can move to pitching. Okay, so we need one starting pitcher. Doesn't need to be, like, the best available. I see Malia Ellison is a free agent again. Shame for her. Well, how'd she do last year after I released her? She had a horrible season for the Buzzwings, as expected. You're looking overrated, Malaya. You're looking overrated. Twist Keith, 25. Pick officer and elite curveball, and it would help with our scholarly numbers. I'm intrigued. Have you been in this league before, sir? You have. You've been, last 4 years, you've been with the Felines. You've never been that guy. You've always been meh. Okay, but you intrigue me with your traits. I like what I'm seeing on paper. August Burton, 22, sounds like a rookie. He is. Elite changeup, disciplined player, good accuracy, decent junk, average velocity, 4 pitches. I like what I see. Nelson Olson, who we did release, is still out here. For a reminder of how he did, he had an ERA about 6. He started good, and then he just faded very quickly. The only other option, I think, is Bellin Rilo. He has K neglect. She has K neglector. I'm sorry. That's about it there. There's also Axton Cowie, but Choker and Meltdown are a hard pass. And then there's Curly Cook, elite 4-seamer. Only 3 pitches as a starter, though. That is a killer. That is not a good option. Moving to the bullpen, Collins is out here. She's not the best available option, so maybe I could sneakily re-sign her to the team. Because clutch is a good trait, even though Collins has failed to use it a lot. Gunther Ortega is a solid option. How's he been? He's coming off 2 years with the Cockatoos. Okay, he's never been great, but he's been all right. He's been average. Wash Bugles, 28. Pass. Waldo Cole. Choker is a downgrade, yes. Elite 2-seamer is interesting, though, but only 3 pitches. Maybe not as good of an option. Drake Andrews. And then we move into the bullpen. We have August Simmons. Nico Faulkner. We probably need someone to complement Graham. We can't have him just be, like, out there every game. Him and Rums can't do it all by themselves. They need someone else to help them. And I don't think Butters is good enough to be that guy to help just yet. Simmons, probably a little too highly paid. Faulkner would be manageable, I think, with Specialist and Clutch. I love Specialist and Clutch. Specialist would be at Tier 3. I like that. Jeffrey Baldwin, Malik Schwartz, Johnny Escobar. Reverse splits is stimulated at Tier 3. Oh, look out now. That would be an interesting combination. Braden Dalton with Clutch. That looks interesting right there. Gunnar Vo. Moldable. Love it. Rookie reliever. Jinkies Hess. Peyton Espinoza. Rymus Hamilton. Interesting. Castillo Hogan. That's a no. K Neglector is bad. Michaela Benitez. Solid. I like it. Posh Griffin. Decent starting point, but no accuracy. That's scary. And I think I'm going to avoid her because of that. Morgan Durant. Rally stopper's a great trait. Gavin Premier. No, thank you. Tyree Conway. Doesn't have any traits. McPherson, I'm not going to bring back. He's been here for the last 2 years. He's been a disappointment, which is not surprising. Okay, we got our options. So let's sim 1 round here. See what happens. Jalen Boyle is signed by the Gobblers. Gustavo Fox to the Cockatoos. Elena Ventura to the Whispers. Nathaniel Gardner to the Gobblers. And that's it. Okay. So the 2 guys I'm looking at who were available pre-free agency, which were Homegrown and York. York is still 1.2 above, and Homegrown is 1.7 above, so we can keep going. Wash Bugles to the Hares. Phil Gongnam to the Gobblers. He was someone we just released. All right, they're still above. I think York is like 0.9 above. And where is Homegrown? He is 1.2 above, I believe. So yeah, we can keep going another round on him. Tourniquet Mullins to the Razzles. Clark Erickson to the Colossus. Jason McFreddy to the Colossus as well. No relation to Harsh. Homegrown's down to 12.3, so he's under $1 million above his price point. Where is York? York is at 10.5. She's getting close. I think we can go one more. One more. All right, Herpy Robbins to the Razzles. Gavin Premier to the Razzles. He'll replace John Burnswell in their bullpen, which is an interesting move. Xerox Wheeler to the Razzles as well. And Daphne Bianchi to the Razzles. They were very busy filling up their empty roster spots that round, it sounds like. All right, so let's see. York is at 10.2. She's 0.3 above where she needs to be. I think we could sign her now, but again, she's 32. I'm okay with waiting another round, and if I lose her, I lose her. Because she is 32, I know she's going to more than likely regress than get better. So I don't want to overpay her and then have her immediately regress, which means she'll be even more overpaid than she should be. And then where's Homegrown? 12, 11.4. He's 0.6. I feel confident going one more round on both of them. And that confidence was rewarded. No one went for him. Perfect. York is 0.1 above it now. And where is... Homegrown is actually up here. I don't even need to sort this. Homegrown is 0.3. I think I'm going to risk it. One more. Why not? I felt it in the force. Alright. So now Homegrown is 0.1 above. York should be below. She is below, actually. Yes, I'll grab her now. Oh, okay. No one made any moves. I'm okay with this. This is going well. So far, so good. And Homegrown's at 11.3. I think he's under his value now as well. Yeah, he is. And I'm okay with that. Okay, so now we have $34 million available to buy 5 spots on the roster. Okay. So now we got to be very, very conscientious of what we're going to be doing. So we can sim up through round 10 now. Because I don't think anyone else is going to get signed. Oh, okay. So Caden Hooper to the Ancients, Dimples Lucas to the Ancients, Chiefly Villarreal to the Ancients. They also get Ash Donkey replacing Tuna Schaefer. And one more round. All right, that's it. Okay, perfect. So now we're at where we need to be. All right, so who are our choices? Crush is a 0.9 above. Yang is 0.5 above, so pay attention to Caden. Sullivan, he is 0.6 above. Boone, 7.7 with Rally Starter. Okay. So if we sign Boone, we're going to put ourselves back into Tier 3 Crafty, which is where we want to be. Especially for our relievers. Wade at 7.7. He's already, I think, below his price point. No, he's quite close, actually. Gordon at 7.9 is definitely going to be a discount versus York. And it's going to be a big step back, which means she'll probably split time with McFreddy at third base, which I'm fine with because McFreddy's been playing out of his mind the last 3 years. And Golden's traits, I think, are way better. It's like looking at this, it would be discipline for discipline, so it doesn't change our chemistry line out anyway, but it does get rid of a competitive trait, and it subs in a disciplined and a spirited trait, which will put spirited at 9, and it will put Disciplined at 7, which is where we should be focusing our team. We're trying, but a lot of the guys I want to keep are crafty, and they have traits that go in other chemistries, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time understandable, because that's kind of what happens. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with homegrown in left field. I'm not going to follow Ellison anymore. There's no one else that matches up to homegrown's level, so he's kind of like he's safe. He's going to be on the roster no matter what kind of move, especially if we're looking at a starting caliber left fielder. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Guy who's going to hit the ball, and he's all right in the field. You know, he's not going to be the best guy in the field, which is fine, but he can run, he can cover ground, he can steal bases, and he can hit bombs. And he can also get on base because he's got great contact as well. First base, I'm not more so worried about fielding. I'm more so worried about getting the best option available to help out McFreddy, which would be Digit Crush would be the answer there. He's a good hitter. He's got great speed, which is a plus. That's not necessarily required at first base, but it's nice to have. Caden Yang, he's just a power hitter. He's actually a good fielder. And Sullivan, he's a work in progress. Laura Boone, I think, would be a better option than Sullivan. She's younger, has rally starter, which is a great trait to have. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I think we'll wait on them. I don't see anybody I need to bring in right now. Shortstop, we're getting close on a couple guys, but I think we can go a couple more rounds on them, maybe. Left field, we're set. Let's see, pitching-wise, Ellison's still out here. I'm not bringing her back. Keith is a little bit above. I think Twist Keith is the move here for pitching. Step for the starter. Waldo Cole is interesting. He might beat out Collins here. Faulkner looks really good. Johnny Escobar looks really good too. Dalton is pretty decent as well. Gunnar Vo he's a very buildable piece. Like, there's just options. I have options available to me. I just need to know which one's the right one to pick, basically. And ain't nobody, like, near their price point that I'm particularly worried about right now. So let's start one round at a time here. And there goes Cross, Hezekiah going to the Bowman. All right, buddy, good luck. Hopefully you can bounce back after 3 straight years of underperforming, hitting under 250, under 220 in all 3 years. Cody Barnes goes to our division rivals, the Pythons. He's going to be their closer. And that's it. Okay, so no high-level guys. Pax Avery to the Whispers. Brett Grimes to the Brown Bears. Otis Mann to the Ridgebacks. Okay, so now a couple more high-level guys are coming off the board. Emmett Kirk's going to the Felines. There goes August Simmons, who was one of the relievers I was looking at originally. And I decided, no, she's going to be too much money. All right, so now we're 12 rounds in. Let's see what's going on here. Surprised Hesto is still available. I'm very surprised he has not been picked up yet. He is, like, right at his price point, too. Like, I'm very surprised at that. Digits at 9.7. He is right above it. Caden Yang is right above it as well. He'd be a discount. Sullivan is there. Boone is right above hers as well. I can wait on these guys, I think. Yeah, I think the B overalls I can wait. Mateo Wade. I think Golden's going to be the one I'm going to go after, I think. Corbin McGillay is an A-. I think he's the one I'm worried about going the most, I think. New Arm is bad, but he's a solid player. It's like he's not bad. He has one bad trait. He's not a horrible player by any means. Glover Leathers, he's decent. Darren Lowbrow's right where he's supposed to be, but he's 33. I got to keep that in mind, so he's a veteran. Glover Leathers. I think I got to risk it. I got to see what happens. I think I got to risk it at shortstop. Keith, he's almost there. Like one more round. I think we can go one more round on these guys. Ortega might be able to sneak through. Same with Collins. Faulkner, I'm probably not going to be able to. So if I want Nico, I need to buy him now. And the problem is I don't think I'm going to have enough money if I do go after Faulkner. So I think I need to wait. I think I'm being forced to wait because of how low the budget is already. So one round. If I miss, I miss. There goes Ding Muddy Water to the Pythons. Charlie Hendricks to the Undead. There goes Gunther Ortega, the B+ long reliever. Poke Kirby to the Buzzwings. Jose Bellato to the Undead. Jonathan Gongnam to the Pythons. Anson Roy to the Frontrunners. And Deacon Gates cut by the Pythons for Cecilia Plows. Okay. So right now, the Buzzwings are trying to cut money, basically, is what's happening. Or was that Pythons? Yeah, the Pythons are cutting money. So only one of my targets got taken, and it was the young long reliever I was looking at. Digit Crush is surprisingly still here. Caden Yang is under his value. Laura Boone is right above her value at a B overall. I think I can get away with that. I think the Bs I can get away with. I can definitely get away with them, I think. I think one more round should be good. McLay, I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with it. I don't think I will. But then again, I've been burned by a high-level shortstop in the past with Reliable. Like, he has disappointed me so much that I'm scared to go after someone like McLay when Leathers is available as well, who's not going to cost me as much money if he fails. And he's actually under his value, so I think we take the smart option here, and I think we take Leathers. And we're still getting a discount on price, so that's pretty good. Had he not gotten below his value, I might have gone with McLay there, but Lowbrow I don't need. I'm good on outfield. Pitching. Keith is right under his value. Ooh, I gotta get Twist Keith now. I think he's gonna go. Relau, I'm not worried about. Or Rilo, I'm not worried about. Collins, she's now the best available option. If I want her, now's the time, but I don't want to waste $8 million on her. I know she's borderline about to start getting worse too. Waldo Cole is manageable. He's usable, I think. Faulkner, I'm surprised is still here. Johnny Escobar, I'm surprised is still here. Ray and Dalton, I am surprised is still here as well. Gunnar Vo, he's a blank slate. No one knows anything about him. I'm not surprised he's still here. It's like no one wants to pay money to a high leverage reliever. I know I'm going to have Crafty at tier 3, so I think the smart move is getting Escobar for the bullpen here, at least one of the slots. Just because, like, I know that money's going to be there. So I know that those traits are going to be at tier 3. 17 mil. Okay. I'm running out of spots. I'm running out of spots. I go get Twist Keith. Not dropping too much here if I go get Hamilton for Collins. We just won't have a long arm in the bullpen, which I can work around. All right. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. One more round. All right, Mark Testa goes to the Grim Cats. Digit Crush got picked up by the Brown Bears. Hesta Reliable goes to the Undead. Conference rival, not a division rival. So, all right, Hesta, hopefully you can start performing better. Damian Payne to the Grims. Malaya Ellison goes to the Grims as well, so she's in the other conference finally. August Burton got picked up by the Felines. Okay, here's where the top guys start going. Corbin McLay goes to the Grims as well. So I'm glad I made the move for Leathers when I did. Otherwise, I would have missed out on him. 2 spots left. I have $11 million to spend. Who do I go get? That's the question. I think if I go for Boone to back up McFreddy, that means I'm only going to have $4 million left for the starting pitcher. And there are fewer first basemen available than there are pitchers, so I think Boone is the smart play here, just to get us as much value as we can. Which is a shame because now my competitive traits are down in Tier 1, and I need to bump that back up to Tier 2. So I think our last signing has to be a Tier 2, has to be a competitive starter. So I just need to know who is there. Like, are any of them competitive? Olsen's a no. Luka regulation is, and he would have clutch, which is all right. Shaftesbury is not. McKenzie is. Cowie is not. Oldham is not. French is not. Mackey is not. Sicily is not. Keith, unfortunately, is not, although he's very interesting. Curly Cook is not. Rilo is. Okay. And Collins would be an option as well for the starting rotation. She is also competitive, but I don't have the money for her. I think Rilo is the pick, but she's got to get down to $3 million. I only have $3.5 million, so right now it's her, McKenzie, and regulation. Those are the only 3 competitive starters that are out here that I can afford. Looking at the long relievers, just in case there's another option. Outside of Collins, there is not. So those are our 3 choices. We need to get competitive to Tier 2 again because we have so many competitive traits. It needs to at least be Tier 2. I wish we could have gotten Spirited up to Tier 3, but it just doesn't look like we have that option. Unless there are disciplined players I want to get rid of. Like Efrat Ho, I don't want to get rid of. He's been solid the past couple of seasons. He's been playing really well. Harsh McFreddy, I'm definitely not getting rid of. Persimmon York, I could make a case to get rid of, and I kind of want to get rid of her. Hallie Gordon is unfortunately disciplined. The other third base options are Viv Tamayo, which would put Spirited at Tier 3 again, but it would give us 2 extra discipline traits. Doherty would also put us there, but he has injury prone, which would be a Tier 2, so that's not great. And he's not starting caliber either, which is the one reason why I'm not considering him as well, because I need someone who can play third base outside. But we do have McFreddy, which gives us some leeway now that I think about that. McFreddy would give us an option to play third that isn't a third baseman. Low pitch and pinch perfect. And it would save us some money, too, which would allow us to go after a better pitcher option. Tamayo? Or Doherty. I think Tamayo's the more valuable option. I really like Golden more, but I want to get Spirited to Tier 3 as well because we have so many traits in Spirited. Like, we need to have that at Tier 3. And I think Tamayo gives us the best option. Plus, if McFreddy is playing third base, Tamayo's coming off the bench with Pinch Perfect, which is good. And I'm okay with having Disciplined at Tier 2. Yeah, give me Tamayo. She's definitely going to be cheaper than York. Although York is a much better player by far, I need the money. There we go. Puts us back at 5-3, which is great because now I can go get a pitcher. Are there any other discipline players I'd be willing to get rid of on this team? Leathers is Crafty. We don't want to get rid of him because we have Crafty at tier 3 now. This one's not signed yet, so we are losing at least one more discipline. We don't want to release another one. Escobar is disciplined, but he's got tier 3 crafty traits, so I'm not getting rid of him. Okay, yeah, and these guys are spirited, so they're not going anywhere either. So we're losing a discipline that'll keep us at tier 2, which is fine. I'm okay with Scholarly being at tier 1. It's not our best traits anyway. Yeah, RBI 0 is now at tier 1 for homegrown, so he's still going to be a danger. We need to keep competitive at tier 2. We need to keep competitive at tier 2, though. Alright, so starters. So Rilo is at 6'3". Regulation we could buy now. Same with McKenzie. Both could be bought right now. And Regulation would have Clutch at tier 3. Rilo would have K Neglector at tier 2 when she is signed. And she has potential to get better as well. Only problem is I can't buy her. I don't have the money. I say let's sign Regulation. And then if she gets to... This will put us at what? That'll put us at what? 1, 2? So that means if... 1.2 million. That means if Rilo gets down to 1.2. So she needs to get down to 5.3. If she gets down to 5.3, we can buy her. Milo Poole, Iceman Bowers, Rod Clubb, Levy, Collins. Wade is still not signed. Faulkner, Turnip, Twist Keith, Sullivan. Oh, I still have Sullivan starred. I need to get rid of him off that. Ben Barrett, Asher Travis, Cole, Gunnar Bowe, Major Biggs, Raiden Dalton. Rilo's down to 5'8". She's getting close. She is 0.5 off of where she needs to be. Cleric signs Zerwin Espinoza. Nelson Olsen got picked up. He's going to the Whispers. Orville Powell. Zane Shields to the cut by the Brown Bears for Lushley. Salvador Lushley. Valentina Fernandez to the Spinners. Ben Barrett to the Buzzwings. Mateo Wade is still a free agent. Malik Schwartz to the Grimcats. Nimbus Jackson to the Cockatoos. Carter Hughes to the Cockatoos. Brian Tate to the Undead. Jeffrey Baldwin and Fist McIntosh to the Grimcats. Hogan to the Cockatoos. Dapper to the Clerics. Damon French to the Buzzwings. Kingsley Eelsuit to the Undead. Jason McPherson, our former reliever, goes to the Buzzwings. Jesse Bass to the Whispers. And Amy Macias to the Buzzwings. Alright, I saw Persimmon York. Billy Johns goes to the Cockatoos. Wax Dyer to the Clerics along with Persimmon York. Cecilia Charles to the Grimcats, Graham Goodman to the Spinners, Tristan Chavez to the Frontrunners. Rilo's down to 5'7". She is very close, 0.4 away. Gary Price to the Grimcats, placing Hamza Ayala. Mateo Wade continues to go down in his value as well. Remember, Wade is volatile. And Ace Exterminator. But Ace Exterminator would only be a tier 1. It's not as valuable now. Maverick Shid to the Grimcats, Lucio Taylor to the Frontrunners, along with Jose Bellato. And Michaela Benitez, the reliever to the Clerics. Rilo's still out there, down to 5-6 now, very close. Sullivan got picked up by the Spinners. Jesse Harvey to the Bowman. Rupert Mackey to the Bowman, as well as no Swingins to the Bowman. Mateo Wade is still a free agent as well. Ministry Pollard to the front runners. Doug Velos to the Ridgebacks. Elena Frank to the Bowman. Morgan Duran to the front runners. Rilo is down to 5-5. We're getting very, very close. Edwina Bell to the Bowman. Mateo Wade is down to 6.5. He's still a free agent. Peyton Esposito to the Bowman. Hayes Perossi released by the Hares for Jinkies Hess. Arsenio Ellison to the Ridgebacks. Fenton Karp to the Ridgebacks. Mateo Wade is still a free agent. Hallie Golden gets signed finally. She's going to the Bowman. And Brentwood Ardcore released by the Ridgebacks for Carla Marsh, our former outfielder. And there goes Rilo. She did not get down low enough. She only got the 5-5. Unfortunately, we needed her at 5-3. So she is going to our division rivals, the front runners, which means we are stuck with Luca regulation. I will check the free agent pool just to see if there are any other starters that are competitive that I'd be interested in signing. But more than likely, there aren't any that I'm interested in. McKenzie is still there. Comparing McKenzie to regulation, they're only $100,000 difference in salary. There is the edge to junk and accuracy to McKenzie. But I like regulation's trait better than McKenzie. She only has composed, which would be a tier 2. He is clutch, which is at tier 3. And there are still no other competitive options. So we are stuck with what we have right now. Mateo Wade is still a free agent after 22 rounds. Legend Randall, nice name, to the front runners, replaces C.T. Bassinet. Mateo Wade is still a free agent. Nia McCullough to the Felines, replacing Ward Martinelli. Reef Weber to the is released by the Felines for Anahi Clayton in left field. Mateo Wade still a free agent. Alexis Cuevas released by the Cockatoos for Malachi Forrest. No starters have been released. Gene Smile to the Hares, replacing Dirth Tinklethorpe. Tyree Conway to the Brown Bears, replacing J.C. Roberts. Mateo Wade is still a free agent. Kyrie Garrison, released by the Felines for Posh Griffin. Beetle McPherson, released by the Buzzwings for Latoya Oldham. Take a look at McPherson. He is a starting pitcher. I'll see if he is competitive or not. He is disciplined. So, no interest there from me. Ahmed Nock, released by the front runners for Oliver Yuppers in the bullpen. Mateo Wade is still a free agent. Mateo Wade is still a free agent. Mateo Wade is still a free agent. We're in the last round of the offseason. Did he get signed? Speed to the end here. Did he get picked up? I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I think he's going to be a free agent. He is a free agent to start the regular season. Mateo Wade is the first player from our OG roster to not have a job the first offseason after being released from the team. Wow. Scholarly player. He'd have Tier 1 Ace Exterminator with Tier 2 Volatile on our team, and I don't like that combination, so it's just not smart. It's not a smart business move, especially since we have a third baseman that is younger. Granted, it is $2 million cheaper, but she has 2 traits that are at Tier 2, and she's keeping our spirited traits at Tier 3, which is where I want them. So that's going to be a pass from me. Sorry, Mateo, you're going to need to find somewhere else to be because it's not here. I'm looking through these, see if there's anyone interesting. Caden Yang is surprisingly still a free agent. Comparing him to Laura Boone, who we did sign. No change in trait chemistry-wise. get a little bit older, we get a better player who's a better fielder, better arm, better speed, better power, which would free up McFreddy to go around the diamond where he's needed to be. But I think Laura Boone has some potential. Granted, we have no money to develop said potential, but she has potential. Other than that, I don't see like anyone else who's like very interesting. There's Nicole Stanky, 25-year-old outfielder playing left field. She would be a bench option on the team, but we can't do that. Tandy Deep is one of our spirited players. He's holding that at Tier 3. Burnswell and Schaefer are not interesting. Yes, dear. All right, be up in a second. Let's see. I'm not seeing any... Ooh, Axton Cowie. I always get fooled by the age number there. Bradley, no. Curly Cook's a rookie, I think. He might be intriguing for down the road. He's a cheap option in case things go wrong. So I'll star him, but I expect him to get signed. Wilson Durham would have Tier 3 reverse splits. Tier 2 Metalhead. Interesting. Otto Lang, he's young. Can't play any other positions other than second base, though. Ward Martinelli is a bench option at first base. And that's it. Okay, that's all we're doing. So next season will be beginning of year 6. We'll see how this team performs now with the new moves. Let's give you a quick rundown on what happened. Efrat Ho, Burnout are both still here as our catchers. Laura Boone is now the new first baseman, replacing Hezekiah Cross, who we finally let go and got rid of his salary. She'll split time with Harsh McFreddy, who's going to move around the diamond as a utility player. Fishman is back at second base. Beefley Bennett is still here as the bench infield. Viv Tamayo is the new starting third baseman, replacing, I think his name was Gangnam. He was just a placeholder. Ed Manning is still here. Glover Leathers is the new shortstop, replacing Hesto Reliable, who we let go. Elijah Homegrown is one of the big offseason signings we bring in to replace Carla Marsh. Tandy Deep is still here as the bench outfielder. Adrian Long is getting a second chance, but if he underperforms, he's probably going to be cut. Warrior is back in right field. His buddy Jude Hokey is still here at the top of the pitching rotation. Messiah Presidente is still here as the number 2. Hanspringer was brought back as the number 3. I'm going to give him a second chance. Luca Regulation is the new number 4. He's here as a placeholder to keep competitive at Tier 2. Johnny Escobar is one of our new relievers, replacing Leah Collins. He's got Tier 3 reverse splits and stimulated, so he's a veteran presence we're adding to the bullpen. Elliot Rums is still here, along with Flavio Graham, the reigning MVP. Rymus Hamilton is the new signing in the bullpen as well. He replaces Mauricio Harrell, who was going to be released anyway at 42. He brings our Spirited up to Tier 3. He only has 2 pitches, but he has Tier 3 pick officer, so maybe that'll help. And then Luther Butters is still here as well as one of our mop-up guys. All right, that's going to do it for the offseason, everybody. We'll tune in next time to see how the Cutters do in year 6 with this new look team. If you made it this deep, guys, thanks so much for sticking around. Appreciate the support as always. If you haven't already, hit the follow and/or subscribe buttons down below here on Twitch to be notified next time I go live. And if you haven't already over on YouTube, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Link to Twitch is down in the description below if you guys want to come over and watch the games live before they're posted. And also follow me over on this platform as well if you so choose. Shout out to the OG Mega for tuning in, or the Omega. The OG Mega for tuning in and chatting with me during the stream. Appreciate it, buddy, as always. Everyone else, I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, this is the Nasty One signing off. Have a wonderful day, evening, or afternoon, wherever you guys may be.